Hi there, it's Katrin at 3Ps. Thank you for joining me. This video is about how do I get in shape. So if you're someone who's either in shape and wanting to go up a level, or you're starting out, how do you get into shape? What are the secret ingredients to making that happen? Well, as a personal trainer, my job obviously is to help you get in shape, and I can design programs for you, I can help you in the gym. The question is, how do I get you into that gym? How do I make sure that you're consistent? Because the secret to any fitness program and any physical change is consistency, is showing up and being consistent day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. So we then go back to, and it's the joke that personal trainers always say to each other, which is that clients always want us to do the work for them when we obviously can't, but we can help. But the mental element, I think, is hugely important here for getting into shape. So how do I encourage you, or how do I help you discover your motivation for getting in shape? Well, there is a series of questions that you need to ask yourself, and the answer to these questions will clear away all the distractions, all the crap that gets in the way of you getting in shape. So you need to ask these questions of yourself, and if you have clear answers, it will give you the motivation to train and train consistently. So the first question, which is a macro question, a large question you need to ask yourself, is, what one thing in my life can I do which will make the biggest difference? Now, that is your macro question. If, above all else, being in shape is the most important thing to you, other things will fall into place. So that's the first macro question you ask yourself, which is, what one thing can I do which will give me the most benefit in my life? Now, if actually it's something like stopping smoking, getting a job, having a relationship is more important, then the reality is you're not going to prioritize fitness. Now that's fine, but in that situation, you're probably not going to aim to be at the top fitness while that priority is not your number one priority. You can still combine fitness with other things. So combine fitness with social, for example. So making sure you're going training with friends is really important, or training with a group. But it won't be that burning desire that will get you out of bed at 4 a.m. Now you may think I'm joking on that. This morning I was up at 4 a.m. training, and I'm up at 4 a.m. training at least twice a week because I have other things I need to do. But it is so important to me that I stay in shape that I will get up and train at that hour. So that is my level of commitment. That may be not yours, but what will sort out the men from the boys is if you ask that macro question, what is the one thing that will make the most difference to my life? If you know, and the answer to that question is exercise, or staying in shape, or looking my best, or having the most energy, or dealing with a particular health issue, be it diabetes, overweight, hypertension, if the answer in that macro question includes exercise, then we're on the right track. So if you ask yourself that question, what is the one thing that will make the most difference to my life? And the answer is something like looking better, having more confidence, being able to run around after my child, getting my blood pressure down, getting my weight down, entering a fitness competition, whatever it may be, if it's fitness related, that is a good start. So that's your first macro question. You've got your answer. So having got your answer, you then need to start to break that question down to what it will do, what you need to do to deliver that. So if you've decided that, for example, the most important thing that will make the biggest difference, the single thing that will make the biggest difference to your life is having more confidence, for example, the next question you need to ask yourself is, what is the one thing that I can do that will deliver the most benefit in terms of my confidence? And if, again, the answer is exercise, being in shape, you know you're on the right track. You know you've got a pretty authentic, straight line motivation to exercise. If your answer to the macro question is health related, so it's getting my blood pressure down, getting my weight down, for example, then again you ask yourself the question, what is the one thing I can do that will make the most difference to my health, my hypertension, my diabetes, my overweight? And again, you need to see what answer comes to you. That answer may very well be exercise. Again, you've got a clear line, a clear motivation towards exercise. If, however, it says go to see a doctor, take my medication, do relaxation, then you know what your priority is. And again, I'm not saying that you won't train, but I'm saying you probably won't get up at 4 a.m. to train. But you can make your ability to train easier by combining it with other things that are important to you, like social, so training with friends, for example. the reasons that people train and the motivations, that's personal to you, and nothing is no true motivation is wrong. No motivation is, surface or, not important. It's what is important to you. So you may find that your motivation for exercise may be something as simple as, I want to be able to get more a date, or I want to have my pick of the girls, whatever it may be. That's fine if that's your motivation, because your motivation is what will drive you. So if you ask the question, say your answer to your macro question is self-confidence, and then your next question is, what one thing can I do to most improve my self-confidence? If the answer is being in shape, great, there's your motivation. Okay, so you go through this process to get from your macro goal to the next level down. So from the big thing that's going to make the most difference to your life, down to the next level, which is, and what is the thing I can do to make that most difference. Okay, then you go down a level again, and you just keep asking this question of yourself. So the next question would be, what one thing could I do that would make the most difference to keeping to an exercise program? So now you've got into the doing side of things. So what is the one thing, and it's not multiple, it's one. What is the one thing I can do that will make the most difference to delivering, or will make the most, give me the best ability to deliver my exercise program? Now, that's when you actually start to think about what sort of exercise do you want to do, and what are you able to commit to. And if it's one thing, it could be, I'm going to commit to going to the gym twice a week, I'm going to commit to running twice a week, or I'm going to commit to getting up 3 mornings a week to get to the gym, or 3 mornings a week to go to the gym, to run, or 3 mornings a week to meet my friend to train together, whatever it may be. But you ask the question, what is the one thing that I can do which will make it the most likely that I succeed in my exercise program? What is the one thing that I can do that will make it the most likely that I will keep to my commitment to exercise? These are the questions you're asking yourself. Now, that may be, I agree to get up 3 mornings a week. It may be I agree to go after work. It may be I agree to join a running club. It may be that I agree to get my bike fixed so that I can cycle. Whatever it may be, there's your next goal down. Okay, that will give you the goal that you need to deliver each week. To if you then chuck back up, to deliver the one thing, which will deliver the one thing, which will deliver the thing that's most important to you, be it self-confidence, the way you look, the way you feel, your health, whatever. Okay, so you've then got a flow of, the one thing all the way down that you need to do. Then you get to the actual goal for the day. So you know that you've committed, for example, to working out 3 days a week. How do you make sure that happens each 3 days of that week? Again, when you, last thing at night for the following day, and then in the morning, you need to ask yourself the one thing question again. So you say, what is the one thing, so the night before, what is the one thing I can do tomorrow which will deliver on my exercise goal? And that may be to get up and train before work. A lot of people hate getting up early, and I really do understand that. I don't enjoy getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was actually thinking to myself today, what is the one thing I can do that will make the most difference to my life in the short term? And for mine, believe it or not, it is get more sleep. But that's not going to stop me training. This means I go to bed earlier. But if your goal is training 3 times a week, the answer to the question, what is the one thing I can do today, or the one thing I can do tomorrow that will deliver on my exercise goals, that's probably going to be get up. If it isn't, you think about what it is that's going to motivate you. It might be to create a new compilation of music that you can train to. It might be to get your gym bag packed and ready for the next morning. It might be to ring a friend and to arrange to go to the gym together. So if you've got a friend that generally you go out to eat together, maybe you agree to go to an exercise class and then eat together. So find small things you can do, but make them the one thing you're going to do that day. And then what you need to say to yourself is, until that one thing is done, everything else is a distraction. So I'll say that again. Until that one thing is done, everything is a distraction. Now the point of that is to be clear, having drilled down into what is the one thing, you need to then treat that as the most important thing in your day. That is going to unbalance you. You will have to take time from other things. So you can't just add this goal to everything else you've got on your plate. You may have to take things off your plate. But if this is the most important thing to you, then you do it first. And that's why, again, I suggest that you do your exercise in the morning if you possibly can, because it gets your one thing done before you start the rest of your day. So if you follow this, and if you do this one thing focus questioning to yourself from the big goal right down to the small goal, and you every day you remind yourself of the goal that you've set, you will find it so much easier to commit to an exercise program. One of the biggest, I think probably the biggest issue for anyone is, how do you keep to an exercise program? How do you keep motivation? You will keep motivation if actually it's really important to you, because there's a bigger issue at stake. It's not about whether you go to the gym that day, it's about whether you commit to an exercise program which is going to deliver you better shape, which is going to deliver you better self-confidence, or it's an exercise program which is going to deliver you better health and eradicate, for example, pre-diabetes, or you've got hypertension or whatever. So go through that questioning, be clear with yourself. My last piece of advice to you would be, make sure that you write these answers down and keep them somewhere visible. If your issue is getting up in the morning, put them near your bed at night, so you look at these goals before you get up in the morning. When the alarm goes in the morning, don't think about it, don't debate it, don't go, oh, I know I set those goals, but actually I can't get up. Don't even think about this. Get up on automatic pilot, have a glass of water and start your day and go off and train. You will feel so much better with yourself and in terms of feeling that you can deliver on your own goals if you do on this. As I said, this structure is about creating exercise as the one thing. It may not be that you're at the stage where it is the most important thing to you. If you're not at that stage, again, don't criticize yourself for that. We'll try and work exercise into your day, but you're not, obviously, if you can't commit to doing something often enough and consistently, you're not going to get in really great shape. But there are other ways you can work exercise into your day. So, use a Fitbit, find ways to just build exercise in, walk an extra distance to your work, don't take the car, walk to the shops, those sorts of things. You can build exercise in, but if you're looking to get into great shape, you do have to commit to that, because you will have to make sure that you have time to train. So those are my thoughts and the way that I structure with my clients how we set their goals. I hope that's been helpful. I hope that's been motivational. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then fine, but do give me feedback. It's great to hear from you. Send me a comment, which you can put below this video. Also, click subscribe. It'd be great for you to join us. This channel is all about motivation, positivity, fitness, health, optimum living. So there's lots of videos on here. I'm going to do a catch-up, I think, later on in the week on some of the fitness videos on here, so that, because they tend to get buried, and I've got some really good programs on here. So if you are looking to set a fitness program, just check out what I've got on this channel, because there are lots of programs you could use that are all planned out for you. So you don't need to go out and buy, get a sort of personal trainer. All of your structured programs are here. So I will see you soon. It's been great to have you. Thanks so much. Bye.